Hello, and welcome to Daily English Podcast. My name is Alex, and I'm so excited to be here with all of you today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Emily. I can't wait to dive into today's topic. Alex, this is going to be a great episode, isn't it?
Absolutely, Emily. So, listeners, let me ask you, have you ever wondered, is there a secret trick to sounding more natural when you speak English? Or maybe, how can I learn to speak like a native speaker? Well, today, we're going to share one of the best techniques for language learning. It's called shadowing.
Shadowing. Such a mysterious word, right? But trust us, it's actually pretty simple. And it can help you improve your pronunciation, listening, and even your confidence.
That's right. In this episode, we'll explain exactly what shadowing is, how to do it effectively, and why it works. We'll also talk about common mistakes, tips for success, and share some of our own funny stories from learning languages.
Plus, we'll give you some mini challenges to try at home so you can start shadowing today. And if you stick with us until the end, we'll highlight some key vocabulary and phrases to help you sound even more like a native speaker.
So, whether you're just starting to learn English or you've been at it for years, there's something in this episode for everyone. Let's get started.
Before we dive in, Alex, can you share your experience with shadowing? When did you first try it?
Sure. I remember the first time I heard about shadowing. I was learning Spanish in college, and my teacher said, if you want to sound fluent, don't just listen. Shadow. At first, I was like, shadow? Like, follow someone around. But then I realized she meant copying the speaker's words as closely as possible, almost in real time.
That's such a funny image, like you're someone's shadow. My experience is similar. I tried shadowing when I was learning Japanese. It felt weird at first, repeating after a recording, sometimes even before the person finished talking. But honestly, it helped me so much with my accent and rhythm.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people feel embarrassed at first, which is totally normal. But once you get used to it, it almost feels like you're acting in a play or starring in your own movie.
Oh, for sure. Sometimes I'd even make silly faces in the mirror just to match the emotion of the speaker. It made me laugh, but it also made me more comfortable with the language.
So for all of you listening, we want you to feel relaxed and have fun with shadowing. It's a powerful technique, and we're going to show you exactly how to use it effectively.
Let's start with the basics. Alex, what exactly is shadowing?
Great question. Shadowing is a language learning technique where you listen to a recording or a person speaking, and you repeat what they say at almost the same time. Sometimes you start just a second after the speaker. The goal is to copy not just the words, but also the pronunciation, intonation, and even the emotion.
So it's kind of like being an echo. You follow the speaker as closely as possible. Some people even try to match the speed and the accent.
Exactly. And you can shadow with all kinds of materials: podcasts, audiobooks, YouTube videos, movies, or even your favorite songs.
For me, songs are a fun way to practice shadowing. The rhythm helps me remember the words, and I can sing along, even if I'm not a great singer. What about you, Alex?
I love using movie clips. Sometimes I'll pick a scene and try to say the lines with the actors. It's a little dramatic, but it helps me feel the language.
Okay, so now we know what shadowing is, but why does it work? What are the benefits for English learners?
Great point. Shadowing helps your brain connect what you hear with what you say. It improves your listening, pronunciation, and speaking skills all at the same time.
And there's something else. When you shadow, you get used to the rhythm and flow of English. You hear the natural pauses, the stress, and the melody of the language. That's really important for sounding natural.
Yes, and actually, some research shows that shadowing can help improve your memory for new words and phrases. Because you're hearing and speaking at the same time, your brain remembers better.
That's so true. I always remember phrases better after shadowing. It's like the words stick in my mind.
But, shadowing isn't always easy. There are some challenges too.
Right? Sometimes the speaker is too fast or the words are too difficult, it can feel frustrating when you can't keep up.
Exactly. And some learners worry about making mistakes, but here's the thing, it's okay to make mistakes. The most important thing is to keep practicing.
Mistakes are a part of learning. I remember one time I was shadowing a news report in Japanese and I kept mixing up the words. I felt silly at first, but later I realized I was getting better at understanding fast speech.
That's a great story. And it shows that even when it feels hard, you're still learning. So let's talk about how to do shadowing effectively. What are some tips for success?
Tip number 1, start with short, simple materials. Don't try to shadow a whole movie on your first day. Pick a short podcast, a news clip, or even a few sentences from a story.
Absolutely. And here's tip 2. Listen first. Before you start shadowing, listen to the recording a few times. Get used to the sound, the speed, and the vocabulary.
Tip 3, use transcripts if you can. Reading along with the text helps you catch difficult words and understand the meaning. Later, you can try shadowing without the transcript.
Tip 4, go slow. If the recording is too fast, use a slower playback speed. Most apps and websites let you slow down the audio. Give yourself time to learn.
Tip 5, focus on pronunciation and intonation. Try to copy not just the words, but also the way the speaker says them. Are they happy, sad, excited? Try to match their emotion.
Tip 6, practice regularly. Even 5 or 10 minutes a day can make a big difference. It's better to practice a little every day than a lot once a week.
Tip 7, record yourself. This is one of my favorite tricks. When you finish shadowing, record your voice and compare it to the original. You'll notice your progress and maybe even laugh at your mistakes.
That's a great tip, Emily. I used to be shy about recording my voice, but it really helped me become more confident.
Me too, and listening to yourself can be funny, but it's also a great way to spot areas for improvement.
Let's talk about some common mistakes people make with shadowing. One big mistake is trying to be perfect. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes. The goal is progress, not perfection.
Another mistake is choosing materials that are too difficult. If the recording is way too fast or uses words you don't know, it can be discouraging.
Also, some people try to shadow for too long at once. Shadowing can be tiring. Take breaks and rest your voice. It's like exercise for your mouth.
That's so true. When I started, I'd get tired after just 5 minutes, but now I can shadow for much longer. It's like building a muscle.
Okay, listeners, here's a question for you. Have you ever tried shadowing before? How did it feel? If you haven't, why not give it a try after this episode?
And here's a mini challenge. After you finish listening today, pick one short clip, maybe a sentence from this podcast, and try to shadow it 3 times. See how much you improve each time.
Great idea. And if you want, record yourself and listen back. Notice your pronunciation, your rhythm, and your confidence.
You know, Alex, shadowing is used all over the world. In some countries, students use it in language classes, and even actors use it to practice their lines. It's a technique with a lot of history.
That's right. And in English-speaking countries, shadowing is often used to help actors, singers, and public speakers improve their speaking skills. It's not just for language learners.
In Japan, for example, shadowing is really popular. Teachers use it to help students sound more natural, but in some other countries, people might not know about it yet.
That's interesting. I think more people are discovering shadowing now, thanks to the internet. There are so many videos and audio clips to choose from.
Let's imagine a scenario. Picture this. You're on the bus, listening to a podcast. Instead of just listening, you start whispering along with the host. Maybe people look at you a little funny, but you're practicing your English. That's shadowing in real life.
Or maybe you're at home cooking dinner and you have a movie playing in the background. You start repeating the lines just like the actors. It feels a bit silly, but it's great practice.
Exactly. And the best part is you can do shadowing anywhere. At home, outside, even in the shower. Just maybe not too loud if you have roommates.
Yeah, or you might end up with some interesting looks. But hey, it's all part of the fun.
Let's talk about some advanced tips. For learners who want to take shadowing to the next level, what can they do?
Good question. One tip is to focus on different aspects each time you shadow. For example, the first time, focus on pronunciation. The second time, focus on linking words together. The third time, pay attention to intonation and emotion.
That's a smart approach. Another tip is to try shadowing different accents. English is spoken in many countries. Try British English, American English, Australian English, or even Irish accents. It can be challenging, but it's really helpful.
And if you're feeling brave, try shadowing without looking at the transcript. Just listen and repeat. It's tough, but it builds your listening skills.
You could even try acting out the lines with gestures and facial expressions. It helps you connect with the feeling of the language.
Exactly. The more you make it your own, the more fun it becomes. And remember, learning a language is a journey. Shadowing is just one tool, but it's a powerful one.
And don't forget, you're not alone. Everyone struggles at first. Even native speakers have to practice to improve their speaking skills.
That's so true. I remember when I first started shadowing in Spanish, I felt so awkward. My mouth felt tired and I made a lot of mistakes. But after a few weeks, I noticed I was understanding and speaking much better.
I had the same experience with Japanese. At first, I thought, I'll never sound like the people in the recording. But after practicing every day, my friends started saying, "Wow, your accent is really good." That felt amazing.
So, listeners, don't give up. Even when it feels strange or difficult, keep going. Shadowing will help you become a more confident English speaker.
Let's recap the main steps for effective shadowing. 1. Choose short, interesting materials. 2. Listen first, then shadow. 3. Use a transcript if you need it. 4. Focus on pronunciation and emotion. 5. Take breaks. 6. Record yourself. 7. Practice often.
And remember, it's okay to laugh at yourself. Learning should be fun. If you make a mistake, just smile and try again.
Now, before we finish, let's highlight some key vocabulary and phrases from today's episode.
Good idea. Our first word is shadowing. We've said it a lot today, but just to be clear, shadowing means repeating what someone says as closely as possible, like their shadow.
Here's how you can use it. I practice shadowing every morning with my favorite podcast.
Next up is intonation. Intonation means the rise and fall in your voice when you speak. For example, when you ask a question, your voice goes up at the end.
Example, her intonation makes her sound very friendly.
Third word, transcript. A transcript is a written version of what you hear in a recording. For example, I read the transcript while I listened to the podcast.
Fourth, pronunciation. That's how you say the sounds and words. For example, his pronunciation is very clear.
Let's add fluency. Fluency means speaking a language easily and smoothly without too many pauses. For example, she speaks English with great fluency.
And one more, rhythm. Rhythm is the pattern of sounds and pauses in speech. For example, the rhythm of English can be very different from other languages.
A quick cultural note. Did you know the word shadow comes from Old English skedu, which means shade or darkness? So when we say shadowing, we're kind of saying you're following someone just like a shadow follows you in the light.
That's so interesting. And in English-speaking cultures, being someone's shadow can mean following them closely to learn from them. So it fits perfectly.
All right, Emily, I think it's time to wrap up. What's your final thought for our listeners today?
My final thought is, don't be afraid to try shadowing, even if it feels strange at first. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. And remember, every small step is progress.
Well said. And my message is, have fun. Language learning is a journey, and shadowing is a great way to enjoy the ride. If you enjoyed this episode, try our mini challenge and let us know how it goes.
Thank you so much for joining us on Daily English Podcast. We hope you learned something new, and we can't wait to see you next time.
Take care, keep practicing, and remember, you're never alone on your English journey. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. See you soon.